Really exciting today. We've got Yvette Edwards here, who's an amazing florist, and we've been out foraging in the vineyard for some bits and pieces to make a beautiful Christmas wreath.
Thanks, Nat. One of the reasons I love sharing this wreath technique with people is because it's actually really simple. And once you've got yourself the basic equipment, it's really reusable year after year. So you can just, take everything off and use it again. It's also really important, and something that we're really passionate about as sustainable florists, is working out ways and mechanics that we can eliminate using floral foam. So this is a great one, and it's super easy. Everyone can make a wreath like this. All you need is a copper frame, which you'll be able to get from a florist. This is a little reel of wire. It looks a little bit like a cotton spool, but it is actually just a really thin wire, which we use to do the binding.
Where did you find something like this?
Probably from like one of your craft shops, or again, a florist. And then apart from that, you just need your nice bits that you've foraged from the garden. In our case, we had a whole vineyard to forage around. The first little part of this project is to attach the reel to the frame. You just take the reel and you spin it around like this. And then our first layer that we're going to put on is just a little bit of moss. So we just tease it out like this. And then this is our really basic technique from start to finish. We're just going to bind and go wind on like this. So I'm going to hand it over to you from here.
Okay.
And this doesn't need to be really tight, because this is just the first layer to hold this to the frame, and we're obviously going to go round a few more times before we've finished. I'd say larger pieces are probably around this kind of size, and then smaller pieces are more sort of in this kind of size, and this is probably roughly that most of our pieces will be about this big. Every time you add a piece to the wreath, make sure that the end is shooting you in the belly button. Okay. Yeah. And the reason that we want to do that is, rather than having bits going in like this way or accidentally starting to go in the other direction, we want to make sure we go the same way all the way. And then we're going to get the next bit. So you lay that over the top, maybe slightly higher, just to cover that stem. That's it.
I see.
Perfect. Basically, as we work round, we don't really have the chance to go back on ourselves. So each bit that we do, we want it to be how we want it to look at the end.
The final layer. It's not like we have layer on layer. It's like this is the layer.
That's it. Some of the things I think we picked out are sort of really good for adding a bit of drama to your wreath. And I think, again, sort of encompassing that asymmetry rather than everything being all neat, it's really good to add in some bigger pieces and branches. But because it's a bit longer and a bit heavier, we're just going to go around a few more times before we go to the next bit. Now, it's really hard to often decide what's the top and what's the bottom when you're even at this stage. And I think, again, that's part of working with natural materials, is it's going to evolve as you make the wreath. So at some point, maybe when you've done the first sort of half, you can start to think about which is the top or the bottom.
This whole wreath smells beautiful. It's very kind of piney and herbally, and I mean kind of sappy, I guess. So I could, definitely recommend a glass of Yealands Reserve Sauvignon Blanc while sipping away, while wrapping away on your wreath.
So you actually flip it over onto its front carefully, and then this actually then becomes a bit like a sewing needle, where you take the end like this and you find a nice clear bit of your frame, and you're going to stitch it over like that. But I definitely think it's somewhere around there, isn't it? Do you think? Or a bit more that way?
Yeah, I almost feel like...
Keep going.
And then could have that one sort of like...
Like half there, like that.
Oh, I don't know.
There we go, bells and ribbons.